Hello, hello, you beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle. We talk about things life, love, spirituality, law of attraction, and all of that juicy goodness. In this video, we're going to talk about what you need to know or the tools that you need to gather before you take a leap of faith. So I took 2 leaps of faith, one in 2018 in June. I quit my teaching job, kind of floundered, didn't have these tools, quickly got another job 2 months later at a different school, really struggled at that school. Nervous system was activated, screaming at me saying, this is not your path. It was for a short time. And then I took the leap last year in 2021. Well, 2 years ago. But it was last fall, so November 2021. And the tips and tools that I'm going to share with you in this video are really helpful because it's going to help you, once you step off the cliff, and you can do that gradually, you can do that quickly. Everybody's different in the way they leap, because a leap isn't always like, oh my gosh, I'm literally like walking into this blank space, this abyss. It's not always like that. It makes it sound like that, but sometimes there's like gentle leaps, gentle steps, and then you get caught by the magic carpet ride, and then you take another one, and then you get caught again. So instead of somebody just completely jumping off a cliff, which is what I did. And I didn't know I had that bravery or that courage, but I found it through my leaps. That was pretty cool. That's probably one of my greatest, the things I'm most proud of is the fact that I have that courage and that grit to just completely trust the universe. And what I really learned through that process was it was me trusting myself, because the universe lives in me, it works through me, and I had to lean on me and that connection to my guides, to my angels, and really those are the tools that I gathered the years prior to my big leap. So some things I just posted on Instagram and on my YouTube shorts were understanding the ego, getting excited for who you're about to become. So you have to have a little bit of excitement moving into that leap to make you want to do it. You need to know your human design or some sort of inner awareness about how you function. Do you need a structured morning routine? Are you somebody that hates that? Do you, can you say yes to things quickly, or do you need time to think about it? You have to learn about you. You have to know how you function so that when you're literally having to rely on you, you have faith and trust because you know yourself and you're like, yeah, I do better waking up in the morning and feeling what my body feels like and going with the flow in that direction. So learning that your human design, there's a million human design readers out there. I'm a 2-4 generator, and the 2-4 are the profile lines. So the 2 and the 4 are kind of opposites for me. One is you like to be a hermit and you need your alone time. Like I cannot create if I am around other people. I have an open crown, which means I can mold and shapeshift into who I'm with. So if I'm around people, I can't go to my truest, most authentic version of myself because I'm influenced right now. I'm influenced by whoever's in the room. So being a hermit, I have to be alone in order to generate, as a generator, that creativity and feel what my your sacral chakra system is down here. And that's where I make decisions. As a generator, I have to feel it in my gut and say, if it's not a fuck yes, I'm not doing it. I didn't know that about myself. So when I learned this, looking back at my past, I was always doing it. And I also was resisting it sometimes and being like, can I trust that? Or why am I so impulsive? It's not impulsivity. It's me knowing, it's having that deep gut, like, yeah, this feels good. I want to do this. And I cannot have that when I'm around other people, because then I think about their opinions or I'm absorbing their energy and I'm kind of manic and all over the place. And that's another reason why I had to leave my teaching job, is because I was shape-shifting all day long in my students' energy, in other teachers. But it was great because it taught me energetic resilience. I was in those situations and I was able to see, wow, I am really having to do a body scan to say, wait, this morning I felt great on my car ride into work. As soon as I got in the building, I see 2 coworkers and they're not happy because they maybe don't like their job. Now I'm feeling that like an hour later. So I had to do like tons of body scans and reflecting and looking back at the last half hour, or what class just left my classroom and what kids were carrying something heavy. So it was a lot of reflecting and really looking and seeing, like, what am I feeling? What are my true feelings? So understanding your human design is so important because it might be pulling you out of a career that doesn't fit your needs. And that's most of the time why people take a leap, is because they're in something that is not in alignment with who they are and their human, literally their human core design. So knowing your design can help you make decisions on what's best for you. Okay, and another one, I'm trying to think of the first two that I said was, shoot, did I write them down? I did. I love myself sometimes, all the time. Let go of the need to force things to happen. So you have to fall back into your feminine flow. And if it's a Wednesday afternoon and you're just quit your job like 2 weeks ago and nothing's really stewing yet, no creativity's flowing, and you're sitting on your couch going, okay, I need money for my rent next month. Universe, what are you doing? And you start to go into drive mode and you're like, I got to take the wheel. I have to make this next job happen. I have to go jump on LinkedIn or all these places to go find a job. You do not force things to happen. And if it's coming from a place of panic, this is huge. So open up those eyes, ears, and hearts. When you are chasing something from a place of panic, you are going to be drawn to another panic situation. So say you are chasing a new job and you're in that panicked energy. I need money. I got to eat. I don't know if the universe is going to bring me anything. You go and apply for a job and you happen to get the job and you get there and that job is filled with panic situations and chaos and nobody's grounded and you're feeling everybody's energy. So we have to be mindful to not chase and step into that masculine energy, like I'm going to take the wheel and I'm going to make things happen. We can't do that on a leap of faith. We have to fall into surrender and say, I know I'm going to be guided. I know how the laws of the universe work, the law of attraction, the law of assumption. I'm going to assume that what I want to create is going to come to me. And when it comes to me in a breadcrumb, I am then going to step towards my fear, because your body will feel all kinds of fear when that good thing is coming, because we have to go towards our fear, and you're going to take action. You know, I had anxiety, I think it was in February. I didn't have a website yet. And I had a YouTube channel. I had my readings. I had Instagram. My Instagram community had been building. And I only have around like 2,000 followers, but my readings, I get clients like without effort. They just come to me through Instagram. And people spread my Instagram to other people. So I didn't even need a website. And I already had like a 200 client base, about 200 clients, like cycling in and out. As a reader, I sometimes get people like once every 3 months. So I consider them clients because they're continual. Some people book me like every month. So I didn't have a website. And all of a sudden in March, on my leap of faith, it was a Friday night. I woke up at 4 a.m, immense anxiety. I sat with my body and I said, all right, body, so what are you telling me? What do I need to do? And I knew I didn't have to have the answer right then, but I just prayed and I said, okay, let me do my deep belly breaths to stop my nervous system from being activated. Let me sit there. Sometimes I do some palm pinching. I pinch my palm to bring my focus back to the present moment. And it was really bad anxiety. Like I almost had to call somebody that night. And I was like, Michelle, you're okay. And this was me on a leap of faith. So one of the next steps I talked about, the tools that you need, is you have to understand that you're going to have those moments. You're going to wake up at 4 a.m. going, did I just mess up my entire life? Like, what did I just do? Does everybody think I'm crazy? And we worry about the fear of judgment. We don't trust ourselves, but we pinch our palm, we breathe, and we say, universe, I completely trust that you will change me into a woman tomorrow morning who can take action on what you're calling me to do. Let me get out of the way. I will wake up. I'll go for my morning drive. I'll work out. And this is me with my eyes closed praying in the middle of the night. And I was in a panicked mode, but praying, but being grounded and saying, I trust myself. I trust you. You led me to take this leap. I know it's for a purpose. I know I'm supposed to do something with this. Well, the next morning I went for my drive, and on my drive, which I do every morning because it's my open morning. It makes me feel free and I'm not constricted or confined. I don't have to be anywhere at a certain time. And I just drive. And on my drive, I envisioned myself creating a website. so that more people could find me, or if people were finding me on YouTube, they could go to my website and just see all my pricing and all that instead of messaging me personally. So guess what I did? That Saturday and Sunday, I sat at my kitchen table and I just started creating. I had never created a website ever. I did a blog, which was mild back when my daughter was born. I blogged about her whole life. And so I had a little experience with decorating a website and making it cute, but this was different. Like, this was like, I haven't done this in like 10 years. I need help. And I'm somebody, my fear of failure is immense because I dealt with physical abuse as a kid. Every time I failed a test, I got physically hit. So here I am opening up my computer, getting ready to create it, and then slamming it shut and crying because I'm like, I can't do this. If I fail and if it's not good, then I'm going to get hurt, then I'm going to die, then I'm not going to be loved. So on a leap of faith, you have to understand fear. That's another piece of this. And I'm sure you guys have heard me talk about the Fear Alchemy course. I just joined the 12-week program to become a fear coach with Ben Harris, the fear guy. Follow him on Instagram, on YouTube, on TikTok. His teachings are so amazing that if I would have had that back then, I didn't have the fear course, I would have understood why I kept closing my computer. It was just these lies. It was not lies. It was my body remembering what it felt like to fail and to get hurt. So now I'm scared to take that leap and do it again, because what if I feel that way again and I don't want to? So it was pretty profound. That weekend, I pushed through. I embraced my fear. My hands were shaking and I just created. I literally sat at my table for 2 days straight and did my whole website. And it's actually really cool, not to toot my own horn, but that's like one of the biggest compliments I get all the time. People will message me and be like, I love your website. Can I book a reading with you? Your website is so beautiful. Can you tell me how you did it? So like when I get those messages, those people don't know what I went through creating that website. For everybody else, they might hire somebody on Fiverr to do it for them. They might, I don't know, it might come really natural to them and they have no fear of failure. But for me, that was a childhood trauma that I worked through. So every time somebody compliments my website, I feel like I just won $1 million. And it's so silly, but we all have these little things that force us to, it's calling us to expand in a new way. It's calling us to heal. I was healing that childhood trauma by creating that website. And that was another one of my tips on what you need before you take a leap of faith. You have to be excited to see who you become and to expand. And like, I am so proud of myself. I had my tax accountant here yesterday. It was like a healing session for her, and she was helping me with my taxes. And I'm so organized. I have a whole Google spreadsheet. My dad was like he's a numbers guy, so he taught me all that stuff. I always say I'm not a numbers girl, but in reality, I think I really am, because I have a whole Google spreadsheet. I actually sell it on Etsy, so go visit my website if you want to buy it, but it's a budget tracker. So you keep track of everything you make, everything you spend. And she even said, like, she's like, do you track this every month? And I was like, yeah, like every reading that gets booked, every Reiki session, I literally plug it in as it's happening. I go into my Venmo, PayPal, plug it all in, and then I can see through my leap of faith, each month, I can see how my income kind of varied. Some months it was only $1,000. Other months it was $10,000. Another month it was 3. So tracking it helped me see. But one of the compliments she gave me was, she's like, I can't believe you took this leap and you were brave and you did not know whether money was going to come each month, but you did it and you tracked it and you're making it really easy for me to do your taxes. But side note, when we talk about anxious feelings along the journey, and it's going to happen, you're going to be sitting at your computer like I did and being scared to create that new thing, but you're going to see how you expand. And you're going to see all the good and the tools that you learn, and learning about the law of assumption, the law of attraction. So in those moments when I was in my fear and anxiety, because we're going to have those moments, it was worth it when I knew the next morning I could sleep in and I didn't have to go to a 9 to 5. I didn't have to worry about a boss. So for me, those anxious feelings, 4 a.m. on a Friday night or middle of the night, and sitting at my computer creating the website, that was still more enjoyable than working for somebody else, feeling trapped at a job and unhappy. So I hope that makes sense, because when you have the anxious feelings, but you also have freedom, it's worth it. It is completely worth it. So if you're watching this right now, I'm sending you so much love. I'm giving you the biggest hug because you've listened this long, and that means you're curious. and you're wondering, should I leap? Should I do this? You freaking can do it. Okay. If I was such a battered, abused, weak, mentally weak little girl at 37, 38 years old, who's been through a lot, I was still telling myself the story that I can't do it, that I need help. I need somebody to build my website with me. And I had people, like I had built a whole website prior to my dad passing away with a business partner. Him and I, we were going to work together. And it was like, I woke up with anxiety every day because my soul was saying, no, Michelle, you're not supposed to do it with somebody else. You're supposed to do it alone. Your mission in this lifetime is knowing that you don't need to rely on other people. You rely on you, your heart, your intuition, and your connection to source, to God, your angels. So the last 12 months for me, my leap of faith was really my soul's calling. I was meant to do that for me. This is my mission here, and it doesn't have to do with anybody else. My soul came here to feel that courage, to feel that bravery, to lean in and completely reconstruct myself. I was so self-destructed with the abuse, with the sexual abuse, with losing my daughter, with breakup after breakup, being single for so long. I was literally on the floor and I had to build my way back up. I had to build a community. I had to build my literally electronic community. I had to build myself back up, my self-worth, my faith. All of this happened in the last 5 years, and that's my greatest joy. And this leap of faith in the last year has literally pressed fast forward on my soul's evolution. 100%. I've learned so much in the last 12 months. So that excitement to expand, that's why you should do it. You're not doing it for any other reason than for your soul's expansion. You came here for a reason during one of the craziest times in history on this planet. You incarnated in that body at this age to make a difference and to also live out your soul's mission. My soul's mission was to know that I can do it on my own. I can do it with my faith and my trust, and I don't need anybody else to do it for me. And it's cool to see how my childhood, everybody did everything for me. And I literally had to build myself back up to learn that. And believe me, along the way, the universe would throw me like pseudo boyfriends. And I would think, okay, I have somebody, now I feel safe. And then all of a sudden the universe would never make them commit to me, or I wouldn't commit to them, or maybe they'd be unavailable. And I was working through that pattern of being the other girl, which was a big pattern for me. But it was my need to feel safe to have that somebody. It was a codependency. And now I'm like, I don't need anybody. And I never thought I'd get there. I never thought little Michelle would say that. So your leap of faith might actually be more than just you changing careers. It could be you stepping into your soul's calling, what you came here to learn about you. And it has nothing to do with your family, your kids, anything else but you. And you're feeling that heart fluttering wherever you're at, because it's time. And I am somebody who can give you the most comfort and the most love to let you know that you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. Every single month, actually every single Sunday night, my weeks were blank. I had 0 bookings. And every Sunday night, I would say, all right, universe, I would love to have 13 bookings this week. I would intentionally co-create my weeks. And I shit you not, every single week, I got what I asked for, if not more. There was one week where I forget what happened, why I was kind of, oh, this is what it was. So there was one week where my brother and my sister-in-law were going away, and I have 2 little nieces. I have 11 nieces and nephews. I say 12 because I always count my daughter in there because it's all the grandkids, but there's 11, and 2 of the youngest, Taya and Molly, I babysit often for my brother and my sister-in-law. Well, my brother was going away for 4 or 5 days during the week, and he was like, Shush, do you mind? My nickname is Shush. He's like, Shush, do you mind watching the girls? And I was like, yeah, sure. And he never pays me because it's just family. We just do those things for each other. And then part of me was like, heck yes, because side note, I had a vision of me on my deathbed one time. And the one regret that I had was that I didn't spend enough time with family because I was so busy trying to figure out what I'm supposed to be doing with my life that I regretted saying no to babysitting. So my guides brought me this amazing vision one night, and I woke up crying, and I woke up going, I have to go see my nieces and my nephews now. So now when my brother asked me to babysit, I trust the universe will provide money for me to make up for the work that I'm not doing so that I can fulfill my soul and my cup by being with family. And, because that's what we take with us, our connections. So I said yes to babysitting. And then I was a little panicked because I'm like, all right, Michelle, you're not going to make any money this week. You're just literally going to babysit. And is that okay? You're on this leap of faith. You need to pay your rent next month. But guess what happened? I asked the universe to bring me money without doing anything. That week were my first 2 times that I got a donation from my YouTube channel. Someone donated $200, another person donated $300. So I made $500 doing nothing other than posting content. That's the one thing I still continued to do when I was babysitting. I actually filmed a couple readings with my little niece Taya. And side note, this cup was gifted to me today. It's got hearts all over it from one of my graduates from like 15 years ago. She totally remembered that I love hearts, and she wrote me this long message about how she still remembers all the lessons I taught her. So I'm using this cup in honor of Aaliyah. Thanks, girl. But anyway, so I babysat for my brother. I got those 2 donations, and then my brother ended up paying me that week. So he ended up giving me, I think it was $500 or $600. Like, he never normally pays me to babysit. And my Venmo lit up with 500. I think it was I think he gave me 500. So here I am getting 500 as a donation, 500 for babysitting. So I made $1,000 that week, and all I did was have fun with my nieces. So on my leap of faith, I learned how to co-create. I learned how to set intentions and how to literally ask for my needs to be met. And then I saw how they came in. And that's why I'm here sharing this video, because there's certain tools that we need to have, or the awareness around these tools, in order to do the leap of faith, or it'll make the leap of faith a little more fun and less stressful. So knowing that there's going to be anxiety, understanding the ego, knowing that your ego is going to jump in. I can't remember if I said that one already, but your ego is going to jump in and try and hijack you. And you have to discern between your ego and your intuition. Your ego will tell you to go get another 9-to-5 job because you're screwing up your life. Your intuition will tell you to take a nap. And you have to learn the difference. You have to trust that the nap will actually work on your vibration, which will help you rise up. And when you rise up, you are matching the law of attraction, law of assumption. You're matching love, and love is the frequency where money lives, and opportunity and joy and happiness. So when you nap, you're rising up to match that frequency. I can't tell you how many times I took a nap, or I went for a long, like 2-hour walk when I didn't have any work and I was scared. I would take a nap, or I'd walk, and I'd wake up to more clients. I'd get back from my walk and I'd have somebody booking my mentorship program for like $500 a month. So I would go for a 2-hour walk and make $500. And I'm like, this is so cool. So the less you do, the more you attract. So that's another segment of what you need to know on your leap, is when there isn't that 9-to-5 grind, do, you have to learn that that's okay. You're allowed to take a 3-hour, 2-hour nap for 3 days straight. In the summer, when I first took the fear course, I had it in my AirPods and I was out by the pool, and I woke up on a Monday, didn't have any bookings that week. I was so, a little used to it by now, but I'm like, okay, the bookings will come. Maybe I'm meant to just learn right now. And there is a season for that. There's seasons and days and weeks just for learning. So I'm laying by the pool and I'm just absorbing all of this content about fear, and it feels right. It feels resonant. Like, I'm just like, yes, like I feel like I've experienced all of this and I just didn't have words for it. And that also helped me understand that, like, when there's a time to be learning, there's a time to be learning. When there's a time to be integrating, there's a time to be integrating what I just learned. And then it's time for the application. Then it's time for sharing, for teaching, for creating something with that information we learn. So when we are, not doing a typical job, a 9-to-5, we have to learn that it's okay to take off for 3 days to learn something, to let it integrate. And then the next 3 days, you're going to be applying it with your creativity, with your clients, with whatever you're doing. So it's not so like perfect cookie cutter. We know what we're making every week. We know what our schedule is going to be. We have to be open to the ebbs and flows of the journey. And your human design will also help you with identifying that, like, okay, if I'm sitting on a session with somebody and my whole body is saying, no, this doesn't feel right, you're tired, you're drained, you don't have energy to do this, you have to honor that and take time off. And that's why the human design is awesome, because I know as a generator, if it's not a full F yes from my gut, I'm not doing it. Because if I do it, I will be completely drained, and then I will end up getting sick, or it's just an energetic drain, and then I can't do anything. So I have to tune in to everything that I'm doing. And if it's not an energized, yeah, I don't do it. That's as far as filming too. That'll be like a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I won't put out a video, but it didn't feel right. And I trust that about myself. So this whole journey is trusting you. You can do it alone with your connection to you and the universe. You can pay attention to that ego when it's trying to hijack you. You can handle the anxious moments on the couch or in your bed in the middle of the night. And you can say, change me into a woman or a man who will know what to do tomorrow. And when you feel the fear, you move towards it. You ask yourself, what are you trying to tell me, soul? What are you trying to tell me, body? Allow me to hear it. You can also do free write. You can do channeled writing. You can ask your guides, angels, I just had anxiety at 3 a.m. last night. Can you please tell me why that's here? And just watch your hand start writing. They will speak through your fingers. Okay. I feel like I covered so many different things. Understanding the anxiety, human design, letting go of the need to force things, surrendering, and the ego. Energetic boundaries is a huge one. Like I said, if you're feeling drained, take time off. You can trust that the money will come. The law of assumption, the law of attraction, understanding your vibration is everything. Taking naps, taking walks. You attract more when you do less. And honestly, to end this video, feeling joy and feeling happiness and just feeling like you're in your authentic skin, doing what you're meant to be doing. It's a process. It's an evolution. It's a remembering of who you are. And that's the mission. We want to feel good. We want to feel joy. We want to be happy in our lives, but we also want to be of service. We want to know that we're needed and that we have something to add to the world. So waking up each day and being like, I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to be doing. Follow your highest joy. What makes you feel good? And if you don't know what that is yet, you can trust the universe will bring it to you. I had no idea filming was a joy of mine until the universe brought me a virtual mindfulness program to create. And I was kind of like shoved into creating it. I was so scared, had so much fear, couldn't open the computer to film. I finally did it. 5 days into filming, I was driving home feeling like I took a drug. I felt it was like a godlike feeling, like this is me, this is my alignment, this feels right. And I was doing it on my own. I was creating the curriculum. I was flowing on camera, and I'm like, holy shit, I didn't even know I could do this. So every single one of my videos that you guys watch, it's all free flow. I am not planning or scripting. I write down key points and I just flow. And that's part of my gift that I didn't know was in me. So the universe brought it to me. That's part of the surrender. It will come to you, but sometimes it needs to come when your body is open and free from that 9-to-5 job that's been squeezing you and constricting you. So sometimes cutting the cord and taking that leap allows the universe to then flow through you and let things come through you. Okay. All right, lovies, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell, tie your energy to my channel so you can feel the juice running through your veins. And just know that every time you come across one of my videos, my energy and my love is sending you the biggest hug, and I'm wanting to infuse you with the courage that you can do anything you want. Okay, that's the theme of what I want my channel to be. I want everyone who comes across it to leave feeling better and knowing that they can do it on their own. I am proof. All right, lovies, I will see you in the next one. Peace out.